Hi, my name is Lawrence Marler, and this is my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a video tutorial on how to create a very nice YouTube banner. So don't be too intimidated if you make a YouTube channel and they're like, hey, make a banner, and hey, it's got to be this amount of pixels by this amount of pixels, and you got to make it this big, and on this left and right it's got to be, don't get too worried about it, guys. It's easy stuff, okay? So I'm gonna take you guys through a really easy tutorial. I've done this twice already, and it screwed up recording twice, so I'm a little frustrated, but we're gonna get through it, okay? Okay, so first, you have your Photoshop. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a file. So this is my beautiful nothing, and this is what I'm going to create with you guys. Okay, so it's very basic, but it'll take me about 5-10 minutes to make, less than that, and it's something you guys can do, and it's not hard. Okay, it's actually really easy. So you're going to go File, you're going to go New. Now this is for Adobe Photoshop, okay? If you have another software, this stuff might apply, but it also may not apply. So I'm going to name this Banner, and we're going to keep the pixels at 2560 pixels. Make sure this is pixels. And 1440 height pixels. Okay, resolution, just put in 300. You can put it 150, but I would suggest you put in 300, just so it's a nice, clear, crisp image. Okay, unless you're lacking hard drive space, which if you are, well, that's a whole other ball game. So other settings, keep it the same. It's cool. You don't need those other settings. Leave that. Okay, so first thing we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a gradient. Okay, so the gradient tool is a tool that takes initial color, in this case it's black, and it's going to stretch that color up until the secondary color, so which is blue. So as you can see, boom, the black will stretch into the blue with the gradient. So it's very similar to this. It'll follow the line that we use. Okay, so let's do Command Z. And I don't want these colors. Okay, so I like the secondary color. It's a nice light blue, so we're going to keep that. But for our primary color, I don't want it to be black. I'm going to want it to be a dark blue. So we're just going to click on the color like so, and then you're going to be able to find it in your swatch. Okay. Also, all the color values will appear here, so you can jot them down. Also, the Pantone number will be there if you want to get the exact color again. So don't fret if you lose your color. It's here. Okay. So you're going to take your gradient tool now, and you're going to start from the top left, and you're going to drag it down to the bottom right. Okay. It just makes a really clean and crisp tone, and it's really visually pleasing. Okay, so you can change it to this, but I find this to be a little bit rough. It's a little tough on the eyes. Okay, so we're going to go with this basic gradient here. Okay. Next, now that we have our background, we're going to leave the background. Okay, now we're no longer going to touch the background. It's going to be its own layer, which is why there's a lock on it. You don't necessarily want to mess around with the background too much. Okay. So now we're going to be adding a new layer, and this is going to be our text layer. Okay, so make sure you type in text here in your title, because it's important. You're going to want to make sure that you know this is your text layer. Okay, so make sure you're selecting your text layer when you add in your text box. Very important, and the text box is clearly the T. Okay, so like you did with the gradient, you're going to be dragging from left to right, and you're going to be creating your box. Mine's going to be a little bit smaller, and I'm going to be putting it more in the middle here. And make sure you justify your text center, not the left or the right. Keep it centered. Okay. I'm going to be doing something like Lawrence Marler Productions. but you can change that up, obviously. Productions. Okay. So now blue on blue doesn't show, so we're going to change that contrast, okay? So we're going to make that a nice yellow. It looks a little bit too pale. We're going to make it a darker yellow. So now we have a nice dark yellow. Text is a little bit small, so let's select the top text because we're going to want a bit of a contrast in these two lines, okay? So we're going to take this line and we're going to contrast it with the bottom line. So we're going to make this one bigger. I'm going to put this at a 36. I'm going to elongate this as well so that it fits in nice and proper. There we go. And then the productions can stay that 24 because it's a smaller size. So it'll sort of contrast the bigger, you know, we'll just contrast it. So I don't really like, I like Futura, but we're going to change it up. It doesn't really look like Futura. So we're going to go to, we're going to go Helvetica, okay? Helvetica, just for me, just because I like it. It's not Helvetica. I know everybody and their grandmother uses Helvetica, but just for the purposes of this video, we're going to use it too, okay? Sorry, I had a better version here. Okay, I guess this is all we have. Helvetica is your basic font. It's not basic. It's a nice font. But if you want something to be more old school and have some serifs, this is a sans serif font. A font with a serif is something like Garamond, which is not showing up in my list of fonts. But something with a serif is something like, it's a little extreme, but you can use Arno Pro. This has serifs, and by that I mean it has little, I think you can see them here. This L here is very straight, and this serif here it's got a little ding. They're called serifs, so you can contrast it like that as well. Okay, so we're just gonna leave the text like this. Okay, so Lawrence Marlar Productions. So you're wondering, hey, how do you get that cool visual like you had it on the other picture, kind of like this? Well, that's really easy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add another layer because you don't want to be mixing layers. Okay, and we're gonna make the text layer. We're gonna take this text layer and we're gonna put it up here because we want the text to always be on top of everything that we're doing. You're gonna want to always keep your text legible. That's very important. Okay, so keep the text on the top layer because the hierarchy here on this side and your layers is going to be the hierarchy here on the visual. See, the text is on top of the blue layer. It's because text is on top of the blue layer here. Okay, so we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to call this one blobs. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, as long as you know what it is. Okay, and we're going to pick our brush. So I'm going to hit a brush. Now we have the same brush as before, this one, but let's have some fun and maybe change it up. Okay, so we're going to change it to, well, you know what? I don't know. What are we going to change it to? We're going to change it to this one. Okay, and we're going to make it black because black will show up quite strongly here. Okay, but the thing is, I don't want it to look like that. I really don't. Okay, I want it to be more of an angle. Okay, so if you ever want to know how to make your brush a different angle, you hit this little brush button here, and you can change the angle with this tool here. Okay, so I like this 45-degree angle that we've just done, so we're going to leave it at 45 degrees. Okay, and then we're going to start to add it in. Oops, bad, I put it a little bit too much. We're going to start to add it in here, so I click down, and click it here, and you can click it. Well, you can click it here. Okay, so hey, look, it's not amazing, and it looks a little bit different. Oh yeah, because we didn't put the main one. You can put the main one. You know what? Actually, let's just do a quick undo here, okay? If you want to do undo, you can do you do Option Command Z for Mac, okay? And Control Z for PC. So you know what? Let's change this a little bit more, okay? We're gonna change this to, we're gonna go 90 like we had it, okay? And then we're just gonna plot this. And if you use these square brackets, close and open, that closes and opens the sizing of your brush. Okay, so we're gonna put the black right here. Boom. Yeah, you know what? That looks really cool, actually. But you know, I don't really like it too much. And that's the beauty of Photoshop, is if you don't like something, you can always change it up. So we're actually going to change it to this. So let's see, that looks much better. So we're going to change it up. Okay. Now, look, you can change this as much as you want. There's no pressure. Like, for example, I'm just going to, have some fun with it here. Okay, so I'm going to change this text. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to change this to be bigger. You can always just change the font size if you just drag it here. You can change it to really whatever you want visually. And I'm going to make this a white color just to really make it some weird contrast or something. Okay, so like you really have all the power in the world when it comes to what you want to do here. Mind you, yeah, fine. This is not very nice, but this one, it's not terrible actually. I kind of like it. So now you want to take your file. Okay, this one's not really great, so we're just going to use this one. Okay, and you're going to go File, Save As. Oh, sorry, I almost broke that, guys. Okay, so File, Save As, and you're going to save this on your desktop or wherever you save your files. I'm going to save mine as a JPEG, and I'm just going to set the quality to high. It doesn't need to be maximum. High will do fine. You don't want a huge file. Okay, you can even get away with medium if you wanted to. And I'm just going to hit OK. So let me minimize this. There's my face. And then I'm going to take this, and you can see our beautiful image. Okay. Super nice. And then you can obviously go to YouTube and then hit this little edit channel art button, and then you're going to drag your file onto that and upload the file so that you can then choose it from your photos, and it will show you the desktop, and it will show you the TV, and it will show you mobile, and I don't know why it doesn't show you iPad, but it's the, you get the gist of it. So my text is in the center, so it shows up. Okay, so that's very important. You don't want your text to be cropped out on the left side of the mobile because it just doesn't look great. Okay, and if ever that's happening, you can even hit adjust and you can crop it through here. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to hit select. Okay, so now you can see it refreshes in the background, and I have my new image. So that will be my banner. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Super simple, but really easy. You can really do whatever you want and create a really sick banner. Enjoy yourself. Be creative, and have at it, guys. So stay tuned. Subscribe for more. I'm going to be making more tutorials, more Adobe software, Illustrator, InDesign, all sorts of stuff, and other potential gaming videos as well. So stay tuned, and yeah, keep designing, guys.